National Guard, I'm in control of my career. And when the workday ends, I get to come home to my family. Write your next chapter by joining the Nebraska Army National Guard. For more information, schedule a meeting with me, Staff Sergeant Paul White at nationalguard.com.
You can get diesel anywhere, but what about
atomic diesel?
That comes from Stern. Atomic diesel is your solution to all your cold weather problems. Prevent clogged fuel filters, increase your fuel economy, and save money with
atomic diesel.
Contact Roger at Stern today by calling 1-800-477-2744 to see how
atomic diesel
and the rest of their line of fuels and lubricants can keep your operation running at max capacity.
At Southeast Community College, community is our middle name. Our continuing education classes offer personal interest, traffic safety and licensing, online learning, and adult education classes across Southeast Nebraska or online in your own home. Learn to ride a motorcycle, how to start a small business, how to dance, or take a course to advance in your current career path. See the full schedule of continuing education classes online at southeast.edu/continuing. SCC, your path to possible.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
24/7 threat monitoring, expert tech support, streamlined communications. Allo has a solution for that. Protect your business with Allo Business. Comprehensive firewall security, Microsoft Teams voice-integrated communications, cybersecurity and IT support managed by experts. From productivity to peace of mind, Allo has a solution for that. Allo means business. Protect your business by visiting allofiber.com/business.
Introducing The Outlet by Sartor Heyman. The Outlet brings you luxurious Sartor Heyman quality jewelry at unbeatable prices. Shop our expansive inventory of overstocked merchandise and a vast estate collection that just hasn't found its home yet. This is your chance to own stunning designer jewelry at a fraction of the cost. Elevate your style at The Outlet by Sartor Heyman, where luxury and affordability meet. Downtown at 12th and O or online at sartorheyman.com.
If your home heating system is making strange noises or just doesn't work like it should, call your friends at Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating. Sign up for Bryant's exclusive ESP service protection plan. You'll get twice annual complete and thorough service on all brands, and you'll never pay overtime charges on evenings, weekends, or holidays. Schedule your heating check today and ask about Bryant's ESP plan to save money. Call 467-1111 or go to BryantLincoln.com. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the best price. You need Ben Bleicher and his team of pros at Professional Realty Group. They'll take the time to figure out what's important for you in your dream home, and they have the expertise to find the hidden issues that could surprise you after the sale. That's professional knowledge, proactive service. We call that potential. Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Service Ambassador. Find more online at prg-ne.com.
Today's agenda includes office meetings this morning, followed by a client lunch, then back to the office for another meeting, and ending the day with a presentation at a client's office. When you are on the go, you need an office phone that goes with you. At Hamilton, our business phone systems make it easy to sync your office phone features to your cell phone for quick and seamless call handling, no matter where you work. If your current office phone can't do this, you need better. Hire your local experts. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
This is Brad with Midwest Bank, proudly serving our Nebraska communities for over 70 years. We're a community bank, making local decisions, supporting local organizations, and helping local businesses and farms succeed. We are dedicated to serving our clients and helping them meet their financial needs with sound, innovative banking solutions. From an array of checking and deposit accounts, cash management services, to small business, real estate, and ag lending. We're here for you. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at midwestbank.com. Member FDIC.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with Taco Night on Mondays or Whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
My dream was to work in commercial banking, but it required a college degree and I didn't have one. I found out that Doane had classes for adult learners on the Lincoln campus and online. So I earned my bachelor's degree, and 5 months later, I landed my dream job. I decided to continue my education, and now I'm working on my MBA at Doane. For me, the Doane experience has been life-changing.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, welcome to Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into Ticket Weeknights. I'm Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. We got the host, as always, Chancellor Brewington to my left. And as always, if you guys ever want to join the show, Starter Heyman text line 402-464-5685, streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Allo channel 961. It's been a crazy NFL wildcard weekend already. We got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Eagles on the TV right now, as the Eagles are, maybe it's not a surprise to you, but are currently struggling. They are down. And Chancellor Brewington, what was the final score? What was last time? Was it 13-7 or 6?
I'm not sure.
I think they got a one-score lead right now. We'll give you the update as soon as they give us the score back. But at one point in time, they were leading a strong 10-0. And as they continue here, maybe if they ever decide to give us the actual scoreboard, man, they really don't want to give it. Well, nonetheless, I know Tampa Bay Buccaneers are up 2 scores here as Baker Mayfield scrambling in the backfield. He's going to throw it up there. Just overshot his guy. But let's go ahead and talk about these NFL playoffs. You can call the Texans-Browns game an upset. That one's a little different storyline. Obviously, the Packers-Cowboys, the most surprising out of all of them in most people's eyes. Out of the NFL wildcard games, which one do you want to start at, though?
I mean, I guess the talk of the week was how the Cowboys performed.
Yeah. Just another rough year to be a Cowboys fan. Were you surprised at all by? I mean, it was pretty much over by the end of the first half.
Yeah, I mean, it was just tough. It was tough, you know. People criticized Dak, but he was playing good before that, you know. So it's kind of tough to say, oh, well, Dak isn't this, Dak isn't that. You know, it's any given Sunday. I think, like I heard you say with Pearson. So I don't really know. What was the final score of the Packers game?
Yeah, final score 48-32. The Cowboys, you can call them some garbage time points.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like you said, I'm not really blaming Dak Prescott as much. I think 32 points. It's not a bad offensive night. I mean, you had 32.
There's a little bit of context because there was some a lot of them points didn't really matter, and you know,
pick 6 doesn't help though.
Right. 100%.
But with Dak Prescott, it does make you worry about his future and what they decide to do with him, because that's a game where if you're Dak Prescott, you can't afford that meltdown early. You know, I think that really broke the game open for him. You go down 7-0. You're pretty impressed. You get a pick 6. Now you're down 14-0.
Right.
And it just gets ugly.
Yeah.
And it felt like the team kind of felt that it too. You saw a lot of heads down before the half was over.
Yeah. It's just tough to be down 21 something and then, you know, you look back and you're like, damn, well, I gotta get a stop here, a score. I get a stop here and a score. So that's just tough. And then looking at the next one, you got the Lions and the Rams.
That one was fun.
Yeah,
the
that's a fun game.
Goff meet back up. It felt like the Lions were doing everything they could not to choke at the end. I was worried there for Goff's own future, because I'm like, man, you can't afford to lose this game to Stafford just for the sake of legacy. But they are able to get it done. Lions win that one 24-23. Now looking at the Lions, as they were the teams obviously clinched their division, how do you like the Lions faring as these playoffs continue?
Yeah, I think they have a very strong pass game. It's very dynamic with the two backs, Swift and Gibbs. And then you got what's the tight end's name? It's Laporta.
Yeah.
You got Laporta and Amon St. Brown. And then you got Reynolds, and they just have a dynamic offensive catalog of who you want to go to. And then, of course, you got a very solid defense with a very good front seven. And the DBs are playing good. They're just playing good as a team. And special teams, you can tell there's a heart on special teams with the Lions. Like they really take pride in special teams. And it's not really just special teams is up. It's like it's another core of the football team. So that's awesome that guys take pride in that.
Yeah, and Dan Campbell definitely likes drawing those up on special teams. You can tell.
Right.
And, if you're being honest, it feels like not enough teams do that. It's a great way to go ahead and add some extra tricks up your sleeve. But speaking of some of these Lions defensive players, did you ever have the opportunity to go up against Hutchinson when he was with Michigan?
Yeah, I did a couple times. The one shootout, but the close game we had here with
with Adrian Martinez on the late whistle. I'm going to call it a late whistle. I think it was.
With the late whistle. I just think I didn't like that. I didn't like that. But
no one did. At the Memorial Stadium,
right?
Was Brady? Those refs. This is a very nice city.
Yeah,
that's the angriest I've seen the city in a while.
Yeah, that was tough. But I did have the opportunity to go against him. Great talent. One of my former teammates at Northern Arizona, he's actually on the 53 on the Lions. So he's played in his first playoff game this past weekend. So shout out to Khalil Dorsey, cornerback for the Lions. Also their return man. And I don't know if you saw the fake punt.
Yeah.
They threw it. He was the one who caught it. So
that was him?
Yeah, he was one of the gunners. Yeah, he was the gunner who caught it.
The one that threw the flag? Are we talking 2 weeks ago?
Maybe this is 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago.
Where they took it back?
Yeah.
Ineligible man downfield.
Oh, was it ineligible man downfield?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was a trick play that the refs knew it was being planned out. Right. It wasn't. You break the tape down.
Come on.
The best analyst in the world can't tell you why there was a penalty.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the guy you're talking about. So sorry for him. That should have counted. 100% should have been yours.
It's good film though. Good film.
Yeah. And that's one thing when you're looking at these former player coaches, and you got one in Dan Campbell. And speaking of another game we talked about, the Texans, they blow out the Browns 45-14. CJ Stroud has 3 touchdowns in that game. No turnovers as well. And that's former coach in D'Amico Ryans. Do you think these former coaches or former player coaches have more to add than just not saying that you can't ever do it if you've never played the game, but do you think guys like D'Amico Ryans, Campbell got a little more to add to the team in terms of garnering that leadership and just getting the team to play to a higher standard?
Yeah, I think that is a good point. They do add a different level of leadership. I think there's a different level of respect when they say, hey, I know that, especially, preseason, going through the grind of football, going through the body pains, the aches, the bruises, the sprains, the soft tissue things, the mental grind, just knowing how that is, and then them being able to relay that and be an encouragement, but also be tough and also know the structure of football, because it's different when you're a player and you're like, okay, well, there's a different structure as a player than as a coach. You just go through different things. You got to take care of your body. You got to make sure you're mentally fresh, all these different things. Make sure you're caught up on the playbook. Make sure you know your job. And, from a strictly coaching, not as a player, there's sometimes a disconnect. But some coaches are great at it. Some aren't. So it's interesting to see how the guys really rally for him. And I think there's just a different badge that you wear when you have played and then you coach.
Yeah, I think I'm there with you.
Yeah,
because even as a fan, as someone obviously nowhere near college athletics, Power 5, let alone the NFL, but even as a fan, I see those guys a little differently.
Yeah,
I'm like, that just seems like a natural. It seems like a natural fit.
Yeah,
like, why wouldn't it work? That's a guy who's been there in your exact same shoes. So I do think there's a little bit of a resurgence coming back there. Obviously, it's going to be interesting to see with so many of these coaching jobs now open, how these all pan out.
Right.
But let's stick to these NFL playoffs here. So in that Texans-Browns game, were you surprised at all to see CJ Stroud I'm just getting really impressed with this guy. Kind of the same level I'm getting with Jordan Love. These are two guys. I don't know what their ceiling is, but like they're already scary. And they only seem like they're going to get better. And I'm already terrified to play either of them if my Bears were to play a Packers team or a Texans team in a playoff game. Those just seem like teams with elite QBs already.
Yeah, I think first start off with Stroud. I think he's done such a fantastic job of his poise going in there, and I got to hear an interview. I'm really not on social media much, but I just caught it on my phone. My mom loves to send me CJ Stroud stuff because he's very outspoken about his faith, and that's one thing.
Yeah, him, Tua. There's been more and more people like that,
Yeah,
which is good.
which is awesome. I think just knowing that your gifts aren't from you, and sometimes we run to the, we can only do so much, and then God's grace pushes us that last bit to where we can reach our fullest potential and obviously be submitted to his plans for us. And the way he's able to just proclaim Jesus and what he's done for him and his own testimony, that's big commending to him, and shout out to him. And also we were talking about Brock as well.
Yeah, shout out Brock.
We still have a Brock story that we gotta tell.
I forgot about that. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, I didn't forget about that. I'll tell the truth on it too. I'll tell the truth on it. I won't hold out anything. But that same scenario with just speaking out on faith, I give Brock his flowers, and doing that as well. Because every time he goes on an interview, there's one common theme that he acknowledged and he praises who put him in the position to where he's at. And I think that's kind of what we're missing nowadays, especially with social media and the self-gratifying things, thinking that our own might and our own strength will get us there. But ultimately it's God's grace that does the work for us that we can't even see. So yeah, shout out to them. But back to CJ Stroud, I think he's very, very poised, like I said, but his decision making is fantastic, and the way he's able to be accurate but also very decisive in his throws. I heard the interview I was talking about was he said that at Ohio State he had a little bit more. What was his exact word? He had a little bit more.
I know what you're referring to. He had more to learn,
more
plate.
Responsibility. Yeah, he said more on his plate, or more responsibility at Ohio State, meaning like managing play calls, more keys, reads, checks he had to make and stuff like that. Things he had to know in Ohio State's offense than the Texans' offense. So that makes me think, okay, so is it going to open up a little bit more as time goes on, or is that just the offense, right? Is it them keeping it simple for the rookie? And letting him adjust to the game, which that's the way it should be in for rookie quarterbacks, in my opinion, of course. But just hearing that interview was like a light bulb went off. I'm like, oh well, I wonder if that's by design.
Yeah,
because obviously he was a back-to-back starter at Ohio State. He could handle the backs protection, the O-line's protections, blitz pickup, ID and Mike's ID and front side, back side. He could do all that because he's been in the system. But in the NFL, I don't know if they're putting that all on his plate. And also, guys are pros now, so they have to do it on their own as well. In college, you're like, oh my goodness, they're playing with a bunch of guys that sometimes you got to tell them what the route is, whatever. But in the NFL, everyone's pros. If you don't know your job, you're gonna get cut. Yeah. So maybe maybe we just solved it right there.
It could be. It's also, it's a hell of a recruiting pitch for Ohio State. I know that wasn't his intention, but now if you're a player hearing that, you're like, okay, so if I go to Ohio State, I'm definitely hearing NFL caliber stuff.
Right.
If he's saying that Ohio State was harder, I know if I go to Ohio State, I will learn a lot about the game. But yeah, it could be something as simple as they're slowly releasing the playbook, which does make sense in the sense that they didn't really need to get crazy. They're finding ways to win games. They just did it again. And you're talking about his unselfishness. That's one thing about him. When you look at his stats, he doesn't target one guy. It was Collins last time, but for the most part, he's got multiple wide receivers, and that's where you give him credit. He's just going to take whoever you give him. He doesn't really care. If you want to take away my best player, he's totally okay with just finding the right read. And it's pretty consistent. He doesn't have a whole lot of turnovers. Kind of the same thing what we're seeing with Jordan Love. It kills me as a Bears fan. I've been struggling dealing with this. You don't get to go from Favre to Rodgers to what could be Love, but it seems like they're on that path right now. Jordan Love, he played incredible. That was a team where I thought Packers, they would need to score 28 points. I wasn't wrong in that because Cowboys got 32, but the Packers would get 48. They did more and above to get to just 28 points. So with the Packers, as they beat the Cowboys, they move on in the playoffs. How realistic of a shot are you seeing these Packers and keeping this run alive? And on the second part to that question, just how impressed are you by Jordan Love?
Yeah, I think starting with the Jordan Love thing, I think it goes back to who he was under for so many years. He was with Aaron Rodgers in that system.
You can see that. Yeah, I'm bitter about it. So that's the tone of voice, but that stupid back foot throw he does, it looks just like Rodgers.
Yeah,
and off the back foot on the money. It just looks natural, casual.
So you could only imagine what they were doing in Indy and in practice and all the coaching points he got from the great Aaron Rodgers. So I think just putting that into context and just even thinking about it, not even knowing the full story, I would say that played some part in it. I would love to just be in a film room with them and see all the pointers and all the things that he took from Aaron Rodgers, because you can't be around a talent like that and not take something, especially when I know from what I've heard, just interviews and whatever, knowing that Aaron Rodgers is one to give, isn't one to hold for himself. He's giving information to the young guys. So $16, Eagles 9. Okay.
Yep. 16-9.
How'd they get to 16? Was safety?
They must have had a safety at one point in time.
Okay, that's cool. That's
I'm gonna
cool.
have to rewatch. This is a weird score. I think it was 3 Philadelphia Eagle field goals, and then they must have had a safety. If you're listening out there, feel free to correct us. How they got to 16? Very unique number, but I'll tell you what, Baker Mayfield, when he's feeling it, he might be one of the most fun quarterbacks to watch. I mean, he really is. I know we're talking about Jordan Love, but this is another guy. When Baker Mayfield's feeling good, that offense can just be a lot of fun to watch. And I do think, with this performance, if he can get these guys this win past the Eagles, does this solidify his spot as a starter in the future for the Buccaneers? Or do you think they might move on still?
No, I mean, I would maybe take a young guy or something, but I think if you win this game and you make it, let's say you get another win and you're in the was this the
wild card round? Yeah, AFC wild card.
Okay, if he goes to AFC Championship game, what do? You get rid of him?
Yeah, no, then your hands are tied.
Yeah. So it's gonna be a sticky situation either way, because I mean,
so you're saying AFC Championship game. So if he wins this one and then he makes it to the divisional, if he wins the divisional as well, you got to keep him. Is what you're saying? Yeah.
So who would he play? He would play.
So if the Buccaneers win this game, they get the wonderful opportunity of facing the San Francisco 49ers. So if he beats them, it's his job.
Yeah.
Unless he has like 3 interceptions and his running back carries the game, which if you're going to beat the 49ers, your quarterback isn't going to have 3 picks unless Brock Purdy's on the other side with 3 picks as well, which I'm not seeing. But we kind of got away from it. So Jordan Love, really impressed by him. They blow out the Dallas Cowboys. You could argue that game was over in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have the chance to play Dan Campbell, Lions. We talked about them a little bit. This Packers Lions, you got an NFC North matchup. Rivalry games are always kind of weird. They split the series in the regular season. Detroit beats them pretty handily the first time around. Thanksgiving game comes around. Lions a little surprised. That's kind of when the Packers flipped their season. Thanksgiving Day to beat the Lions. Then they start making this run. Third matchup between these two in this season alone. Who do you like in this one?
I'm going to stick with the Lions. I just like that. I'm biased because I know a couple guys on the team, so I want them to win.
Yep.
I want them to get that playoff check. But other than that, I mean, just looking at a team standpoint, there's a bunch of stories in there. Of course, you got the Goff story. Of course, you got the St. Brown story. You got the Hutchinson story. There's a bunch of different stories, but of course, Packers have some as well. So it's tough. It's tough.
I think it's anytime those rivalry games happen, I mean, you can even talk about that. Like, what is it with these rivalry games that even if it's Auburn, a terrible program for that year, and Alabama, an elite program that made it to the college football championship game, it comes to a game-winning throw by Milroe at the end.
All right.
That Auburn team had no place belonging. But sure enough, there they are.
Right.
Even Georgia, Alabama, and the SEC champion. I would argue I think Georgia was a much better team. They lose to Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
You see Thanksgiving, Lions, Packers. Lions are favored. Packers win. What is it about those rivalry games that whatever happens, they seem to play to each other's competition?
I have no idea. I really do not know. I can just tell from personal experience. It's an heightened awareness. I would say it's in heightened sense of urgency. It's sad sometimes to think about it that it has to take a rivalry game for a team to get juiced up.
Mm-hmm.
You should be juiced up any given Saturday, any given Sunday. Just having the opportunity to play football, put some pads on, and hit someone. So,
but everyone's human. Everyone knows. Like when Iowa's on the calendar, it
exactly
feels a little different.
Exactly. There's just a, or even around the building, the practices get there's a little bit more, like a little bit more tension in practice. The coaches are just a little bit, you got the fans, there's more media talk, there's more. And, the media controls everything.
And you got the counter media. If it's a real rivalry, you're going to get that other size media pouring in to whatever you're doing.
Exactly. You're going to see it on, if you're on a large enough scale, you're going to see it on, the TV, Sports Center, Big Ten Network, whatever platform is covering it. So, it's just then heightened urgency, I would say.
Heightened senses?
Yeah.
To me, it's one of the most unique things in sports. And I think that's why sports are one of the most entertaining things. That's why they're so successful here, obviously, in terms of entertainment purposes. Is like you get two teams that really don't like each other, the results become nearly impossible to predict.
Right.
Unless it's like a pee-wee team versus grown adults, it's borderline impossible. It makes no sense. You see it all the time with these NFL teams that play each other within their divisions. You see it in the conference championship games. The I don't know. Part of it is obvious. You get used to the other team, so it's easier to counter for it.
Right.
But to your part, I do think that heightened senses is a real thing.
Yeah.
Like you just really come out to your best possible performance. Even if you haven't been playing that like all season, if you're an Auburn team who season's kind of run away, we got Arkansas, we'll kind of get up for this game, but you get that Alabama game, even though the season's kind of a wash, this one means something different. So that heightened senses, maybe that's all it really is, but nonetheless, always an interesting conversation. We got to throw it to break here on What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington. I'm Harrison Arns on the ones and twos, host as always to my left. We'll throw it to break here. Got a couple more segments on the other side. Don't go anywhere.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
We wait all pro football season for the big game. But will you come out on top? Warhorse Festival of Games is putting you at the center of the action with 2 chances to win big. Earn entries for our $100,000 prop card challenge daily at Warhorse Casino Lincoln. Enjoy slots, sports wagering, and horse racing. Then make your picks about the big game to be eligible to win. Qualifying entries will also be put in the running for your share of the $20,000 grand prize drawing. Increase your luck for the drawing by playing free online games on the Festival of Games website. Skip the trip to Vegas and get in on the big game right here at Lincoln's favorite place to play. And if that's not enough, our $1 Million Bracket Challenge for college basketball is coming soon. Full details are online at warhorsecasino.com. Warhorse Casino Lincoln, just minutes from downtown at Highway 77 and West Denton Road. Why not today? Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
At Southeast Community College, community is our middle name. Our continuing education classes offer personal interest, traffic safety and licensing, online learning, and adult education classes across Southeast Nebraska or online in your own home. Learn pottery or floral design, take a computer course, learn Spanish, how to start writing a book, or Air Fryer 101. See the full schedule of continuing education classes online at southeast.edu/continuing. SCC, your path to possible.
Ironhide Construction is hiring. They're looking for hardworking, self-motivated individuals who are team players. Ironhide Construction has openings for an experienced project manager, estimator, apprentice, skilled laborer, and erector or installer. They will train the right people and make sure you understand the position and requirements. At Ironhide Construction, it's own it, be honest, and do it right. Apply today and learn more about their other benefits at ironhideconstruction.com, where they're committed to you every step of the way.
As the chief buffet officer here at Pizza Ranch, I get all kinds of buffet questions. Here's one from Cole.
Is there a real cactus in your cactus bread?
Great question, Cole. No, there is no cactus in our cactus bread, just sweet cinnamony streusel. It's on our buffet every day, along with pizza, chicken, ice cream, and all your other favorites. Even better, at least for your parents, kids eat free on Tuesday nights. And don't worry, Cole, there's no coal in our coleslaw either.
Pizza Ranch, everyone's favorite buffet. Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, and we'd like to say thank you for a record-setting 2023. So let's start off 2024 with the bang. They've got huge trade-in bonuses and finance bonusing happening right now on our new inventory at Coppell. Get up to $8,500 off select new models at Coppell. So if you're shopping for a new GM product, go to our website at coppellcars.com. You won't believe the discounts. Make that short money-saving drive down 144th Street. You'll be glad you did. Must have trade and finance with roof credit. Stock number G20768.
Step into healing at Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery. Our team of top-notch medical professionals turns pain into progress with state-of-the-art treatments and compassionate care. Visit prairieortho.com and discover the difference in quality orthopedic and plastic surgery services tailored to your unique needs. Your health matters, and Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery is dedicated to helping you thrive. Reach your full potential. Embrace a better tomorrow with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started. Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Hey guys, Jake Sorensen here from Early Break. The garage door at our house has been needing replacement for a couple years, and a few months ago, we finally did something about it. Steve's Garage Doors and Services was great through the whole process in providing options and also going to the next level to get a door that was approved by our HOA. And best of all, the removal of the old door and installation of the new door was done smoothly with no issues. Call Steve's Garage Doors and Services today at 402-480-2840.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back in to Ticket Weeknights. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. Host, as always, Chancellor Brewington of the show What's Brewing with Brewington to my left. And again, if you guys ever want to join the show, 402-464-5685. Streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Allo Channel 961. Great way to put a face to the voice. But as we're sitting here right now, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are dominating in this game. It's 23-9. It's kind of been the trend of these wildcard round games so far. There really hasn't been too many close ones outside of that Rams-Lions game. It's been kind of a crapshoot, if you're being honest. None of these games have been super close. So this game has been interesting. The Buccaneers, they get a field goal, touchdown, field goal. Eagles eventually get one. Then the Buccaneers get another field goal. So now you're sitting at a score of 3-16. Eagles get a touchdown, go for the 2-point conversion with Jalen Hurts. No good. So it sits at 9-16. And then as we just saw, Trey Palmer, 56-yard touchdown pass from Baker Mayfield, makes a nice man miss as well. And the extra point is good. So now we're sitting at a score of 9-25. Trey Palmer has his first career NFL playoff touchdown. So shout out to him for the Huskers. You also got Jurgens for the Eagles. So you got Huskers on both sides you want to root for. And we're not even mentioning all of them. There's a plethora of Huskers you can point out there. But with this game, how surprised are you right now? Just see the Buccaneers dominating the Eagles 25-9. Do you think it's an X's and O's? Do you think it's Jalen Hurts with the hurt index finger? There's quite a few things, but I'll say this much. The Eagles defense, really surprised by. They haven't been able to stop them like at all. And that's one thing. If you want your offense to get some sort of rhythm, you got to get their team off the field. It just looks like the Buccaneers are really comfortable right now, getting what they want. They even had a missed, what should have been a touchdown to Mike Evans, went right through his hands. So you subtract that one as well, and they're still in complete control of this game.
Yeah, let me just watch this.
Yeah, we got a replay of Trey Palmer.
Just
right
that little
now.
out route. Okay, make one man miss, knife.
2 miss.
Yeah, I like it.
And it's a race.
Yeah.
So he turns a 5-yard out into a 56-yard touchdown after making the first man miss and just beating the second guy on a simple cut. And the rest of the group, good luck trying to catch Trey Palmer when he's in full stride.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. But what just from a quick glance of what I see is just the Bucks is sending pressure. Bucks is sending pressure, and Eagles are not keeping really anyone in for chips or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Just for pass pro, and then it's kind of tough when Hurts is banged up. You know, he's not, doesn't look like he's being used in the run game, so that's you don't really have to account for. So, and it looks like Baker's playing a good football game.
Baker's, I don't know what it is about Baker, but he's one of those quarterbacks for me he's just incredibly fun to watch. He's kind of up there with Flacco.
Yeah,
different quarterbacks. Who is that player for you? What position? Doesn't matter where, whether it's college or even in the NFL. Who was that player for you growing up that maybe you really looked up to? Maybe you modeled your game after, or just flat out was exciting to watch. That's why I watched him.
In any sport?
Yeah, you can pick any. You can even go basketball. You can go lacrosse if you really want to go that route.
Well, I grew up really watching baseball. I was a big baseball fan. I loved. It's such a weird. It's a weird name, but I had the opportunity to meet him. But Josh Harrison.
Okay.
He was a utility guy for the Pirates. Back in the day. He played third base, shortstop, second base. He played outfield. He played whatever. But is he still in the league or no? There's no way.
2023.
Oh my gosh.
Philadelphia.
Oh my gosh, man.
2011 was his first season.
Yeah, I met him in 2012. So it was the second year with the Pirates. I used to love him, Andrew McCutchen, Starling Marte, those guys back in the outfield. There was black baseball players. You don't see a bunch of them. And those were guys I looked up to.
So did you want to go the baseball route?
Oh yeah, my whole up until beginning of high school, I was set. I was gonna get drafted out of high school. I'm playing. I didn't want to go to college at all.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah.
What position were you? Outfielder?
Well, I started playing short. And then I transitioned to third, then moved to the outfield. I was getting a little taller and whatever. But I was always a pitcher. Always the first guy in the rotation.
Okay.
Always.
What was your arsenal on the mound?
I had a fastball. I had a two-seam. I had a changeup. I had a curveball, and I was just kind of getting the feel of my cutter slider thing. I was kind of getting the feel of it, but had a really good curveball. My fastball already has some run to it, so my two-seam kind of, I could take some off of it and kind of look like a changeup where I could put some on it. Changeup was decent, was still getting the feel of it, but fastball was my thing. I'd feel like decent command, but it was only getting better. But then I just fell in love with football.
Yeah,
and because I didn't play football growing up. Really, it was kind of just a recess thing.
So what was it about football that made you fall in love with it?
Oh my gosh.
So it sounds like you could have had a baseball career as well.
Oh yeah, 1000%, no doubt about it. And everyone was kind of upset with me that I did that in the baseball community. But my support system, like my dad and everyone, they were very supportive in the transition.
So the real backbone was still with you.
Yeah. Like there was no like, hey, you know, like there was none of that. So shout out to everyone during that time. But there was always like, you know, like a couple guys that put with my dad. They was always like, you know, if you quit baseball, man, like we like you gonna have to come see me. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, you know,
how hard was that to make the decision then? So it sounds like your family had opinions. Your real support, they were cool with either one you picked, but
right.
Sure, still a stressful situation. Or were you pretty confident? Like, nah, I'm not going to regret this. I'm going with football.
I mean, it was tough because football. Yeah, my granddad played for the Raiders. My uncle played for the Jets, I think. But other than that, it wasn't like I had a real sense of the football community. I didn't really have that. So I was just figuring it out on my own for real, like what drill work looked like, what weights looked like, what, you know, all these things looked like. So it was obviously it was a crazy learning curve, but it was crazy because from my sophomore year, going to sophomore year, they threw me on. I was on varsity for everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Except for baseball. I would kind of I'll go up for playoffs, whatever, right? But football and basketball, I was on varsity starting, right? So it got to a point where I'm like, why is my one sport, obviously baseball, the school I went to for baseball was the best in the state, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they had like,
you're from Arizona?
Yeah.
And that's pretty much like a I want to say a baseball haven, right? Like
Yeah.
Arizona is really, really some of the best coming out of Arizona.
Yeah. So if I would have just played my junior and senior year, I am confident that I probably would have got picked up somewhere. But it was crazy. Now that I'm thinking about it, it was such a radical change, and everyone around me had complete they had reason to be like, hey, why are you doing this? You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
the baseball route was paved. It was I grew up playing it. At 13 years old, I was playing in the 17-year-old, 18-year-old, you know, prospect team for the Diamondbacks. Like,
you probably had plenty of scouts, people that knew your name
through my
Mhm.
dad, through all the things that he's done, the foundation that he laid, and all these things. Then I just took a whole 180 and started playing football and really like fell in love with it. I think it was the contact. It was being able to compete against someone where I can, my physical strength and dominance and in that way, then pitching is different because now you're just throwing a ball.
Mhm.
Now and it's still one-on-one. It's still one-on-one, but it's not the physical component. And I just fell in love with it, man.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
That's the one thing about football that you're talking about. Like sometimes just the ability to, you're a better skill, but I'm going to outwork you.
Yeah.
Like that'll work. Like I'm going to outmuscle you. I'm going to outwork you. I don't care if you're a 5-star. I'm a 3-star that put hours in the gym and I'm going to get to work.
Yeah.
Baseball, I don't care if you want it more. If you haven't been, you know, facing a really good pitcher and you don't have the skill to hit what he's going to throw at you, if he's got all the changeups, if, you know, he's got a fastball over 100, like good luck.
Yeah.
I don't care how bad you want it. You're going to strike out every single time.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Funny story. So we're in the training room doing some recovery, and this was 2 or 3 days ago, and I'm with a couple of former teammates, and we're in there with some baseball players, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't tell people, oh, I play baseball. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're playing at Power 5 level. Like, I'm not finna disrespect you and throw my high school.
The smart thing to do.
Right. Yeah. It just kind of, in my eyes, kind of pathetic. Right.
Mhm.
So they were saying, like, you know, asking them, oh, they pitch, whatever, right? And I grew up baseball. Like I could go right now, and this is all humble, this is just truth. I could go right now and teach a pitching lesson. Right now.
I believe it.
100%, because I was with my dad and seeing all the things that he was teaching people and all the knowledge I gained from that. It was like, it's second nature. I'll never lose my form ever.
Well, you I mean, for the most part, it's safe to say you grew around it, right? Like
Oh,
your
yeah, I
whole
was
life was around baseball early. Like,
yeah, and like I said about the Josh Harrison thing, my dad was a scout for the Pirates, so every other weekend we were going to Pirates games if they played the Diamondbacks, or and I got to go in the clubhouse, meet the coach, meet McCutcheon. McCutcheon like, hey, you want to bat? I'm like, I want to bat. I could swing. I don't want you to sign it. Like, that's how, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want something I could go and take BP with. But that being said, we was in the hot tub, whatever, and they said, hey, you guys should step in and take some get some live reps, like sit in and get some swings up against them. And I was like, oh my gosh, I would love that. I would love that. But the whole time I didn't tell them I played no baseball or none. But yeah, obviously it's a different level in college, but that would make my whole year, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing where, well, we're going to have baseball here pretty soon with the Nebraska baseball team. And that's one, if you haven't watched Nebraska baseball or even the softball team, if you're not the softball team, I'm not worried about the attendance there. We've talked that we're going to have Jordy Ball as the pitcher. Her stats at Oklahoma don't lie. I don't expect too much different from her. Maybe there's some chemistry things. For the most part, I'm expecting big things from the softball team, baseball team to continue to develop. But yeah, when you kind of talk about that, it seems to be with like a lot of those athletes, baseball seems to be the one that got away for a lot of dudes. Mahomes, same thing. He could have been a baseball player. You talk to Eric Strickland. He could have been a baseball player. You talk about, oh man, I'm forgetting on the guy, Cade Warner. I'll have to look that one up. He had an option. He could have done NBA. He could have done NFL. He could have done the third one, I believe, might have been NFL, NBA, or MLB. And he had the picking at all three. And baseball is a tough one. And I'm always curious why people tend to sway away from that route. Maybe it's because the longevity of it is kind of hit or miss, especially if you're playing that pitcher position. That can be tough with the injuries you can build up. But nonetheless, plenty more things to talk about here on What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington. I'm Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. Brewington to my left, host as always. Don't go anywhere. We got one more segment on the other side.
When it comes to joining the Nebraska Army National Guard, you've heard it all before. College, healthcare, signing bonus. But joining is so much more than that. It's setting yourself up for a new and better chapter of your life. I'm Staff Sergeant Paul White, and because of the Nebraska Army National Guard, I'm in control of my career. And when the workday ends, I get to come home to my family. Write your next chapter by joining the Nebraska Army National Guard. For more information, schedule a meeting with me, Staff Sergeant Paul White at nationalguard.com.
You can get diesel anywhere, but what about atomic diesel? That comes from Stern. Atomic Diesel is your solution to all your cold weather problems. Prevent clogged fuel filters, increase your fuel economy, and save money with Atomic Diesel. Contact Roger at Stern today by calling 1-800-477-2744 to see how Atomic Diesel and the rest of their line of fuels and lubricants can keep your operation running at max capacity.
At Southeast Community College, community is our middle name. Our continuing education classes offer personal interest, traffic safety and licensing, online learning, and adult education classes across Southeast Nebraska, or online in your own home. Learn to ride a motorcycle, how to start a small business, how to dance, or take a course to advance in your current career path. See the full schedule of continuing education classes online at southeast.edu/continuing. SCC, your path to possible.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
24/7 threat monitoring, expert tech support, streamlined communications. Allo has a solution for that. Protect your business with Allo Business. Comprehensive firewall security, Microsoft Teams voice-integrated communications, cybersecurity and IT support managed by experts. From productivity to peace of mind, Allo has a solution for that. Allo means business. Protect your business by visiting allofiber.com/business.
Introducing The Outlet by Sartor Heyman. The Outlet brings you luxurious Sartor-Heyman quality jewelry at unbeatable prices. Shop our expansive inventory of overstocked merchandise and a vast estate collection that just hasn't found its home yet. This is your chance to own stunning designer jewelry at a fraction of the cost. Elevate your style at The Outlet by Sartor-Heyman, where luxury and affordability meet. Downtown at 12th and O or online at sartorheyman.com.
If your home heating system is making strange noises or just doesn't work like it should, call your friends at Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating. Sign up for Bryant's exclusive ESP service protection plan. You'll get twice annual complete and thorough service on all brands, and you'll never pay overtime charges on evenings, weekends, or holidays. Schedule your heating check today and ask about Bryant's ESP plan to save money. Call 467-1111 or go to BryantLincoln.com. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the best price. You need Ben Bleicher and his team of pros at Professional Realty Group. They'll take the time to figure out what's important for you in your dream home, and they have the expertise to find the hidden issues that could surprise you after the sale. That's professional knowledge, proactive service. We call that potential. Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Service Ambassador. Find more online at prg-ne.com.
Today's agenda includes office meetings this morning, followed by a client lunch, then back to the office for another meeting, and ending the day with a presentation at a client's office. When you are on the go, you need an office phone that goes with you. At Hamilton, our business phone systems make it easy to sync your office phone features to your cell phone for quick and seamless call handling, no matter where you work. If your current office phone can't do this, you need better. Hire your local experts. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
This is Brad with Midwest Bank, proudly serving our Nebraska communities for over 70 years. We're a community bank, making local decisions, supporting local organizations, and helping local businesses and farms succeed. We are dedicated to serving our clients and helping them meet their financial needs with sound, innovative banking solutions. From an array of checking and deposit accounts, cash management services, to small business, real estate, and ag lending. We're here for you. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at midwestbank.com. Member FDIC.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
My dream was to work in commercial banking, but it required a college degree and I didn't have one. I found out that Doane had classes for adult learners on the Lincoln campus and online. So I earned my bachelor's degree, and 5 months later, I landed my dream job. I decided to continue my education, and now I'm working on my MBA at Doane. For me, the Doane experience has been life-changing.
When it comes to joining the Nebraska Army National Guard, you've heard it all before. College, healthcare, signing bonus. But joining is so much more than that. It's setting yourself up for a new and better chapter of your life. I'm Staff Sergeant Paul White, and because of the Nebraska Army National Guard, I'm in control of my career. And when the workday ends, I get to come home to my family. Write your next chapter by joining the Nebraska Army National Guard. For more information, schedule a meeting with me, Staff Sergeant Paul White at nationalguard.com.
To the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into Ticket Weeknights. Harrison Arns on the 1s and 2s. We got NFL on the TV here above us as the Buccaneers continue to make what has been somewhat of a lackluster wild card round. There's been good stories. I think the most fun I had was probably watching that Lions-Rams game, the Packers game. It was funny to see the outcry from the Cowboys fans with Jerry Jones. That is just a disaster that's waiting to happen. Well, let's just focus on the Cowboys as we wrap this thing up here, because at a certain point, it's called insanity if you keep doing the same thing and you keep getting the same results. They're taking it to an all-new level. First round exit. Yes, the Packers are looking good, but that doesn't excuse the defense that you saw. I mean, at one point in time, I can't remember. I believe it was tight end that they had wide open on a route, and he sat there forever. He was wide open. The ball hangs in the air. He catches the ball. He turns around. He still has time to run into the end zone. When you're looking at the Cowboys, how drastic of a moves do you think they're going to make? Is McCarthy gone, the head coach? Is Dak Prescott gone, the starting QB? Does Jerry Jones need to move on from ownership? Is it a Jerry Jones problem? Which he won't. He won't move on. But if that's a problem, I mean, that maybe that's something that needs to happen. What do you see with this Cowboys team? If they need to change things or if they need to keep steady, what would you do?
Right. I don't know. I don't know. How long has McCarthy been there? 4 years, 5 years?
I want to say he's going on year 5. Let me double check, but I think you're correct with year 5.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. And I know based on the Cowboys and their success in the past, I know they want to get back there. I just don't know what piece they're missing. Is it consistent quarterback play? Is it structure of team? Is it coaching? Is it offense play call, defensive play call? Because on paper they got the pieces. I would say on paper they got the pieces. They got a really good receiving core, a good back in Pollard, a good quarterback, a good O-line, a really strong front four, a really good front seven, and great DB. So it's kind of like, what are they missing? Or like what's the piece? You know?
Is it mean to say they're missing the Nebraska? What Nebraska's been missing? Just the ability to close out games when you have all the pieces?
Yeah. So what is that piece?
Is it mental? I mean, this is the kind of a Nebraska question too, right? Because there's years we have the talent on paper. It says we should win. And for some reason, even when we're winning, the ability to close out the game is where it slips away. Is that something that needs to be taught? Something that's practiced? Something that naturally occurs within the culture once those things start to happen?
Right. I'm not sure. Because I've been a part of those teams where it's like, we're doing everything right though. It seems like we're
that 3-win season was definitely that team for me. It's like, I didn't see the guys not giving effort. I didn't see the guys really making blatant, horrible mistakes other than the occasional turnover at the end of the game, which it wasn't even, you could pick one guy.
Right. It's just, it's tough. It's tough. I would say it's a combination between coaching and it's just, I feel like it's an out of sync. If that makes any sense. There's an out of sync between the coaching and the players and the game plan. I just feel like there's an out of sync, and maybe there's a lack of trust in the game plan. There's a lack of trust in the structure and the culture. But what happens if you bring in one of those former player coaches in there to the Cowboys?
See, that's where the magic is.
Yeah.
Like, you get a former player, they can start to build that belief in the roster, especially a guy who's like went to a high level.
Bring Deion in.
Do you think Deion's leaving?
No.
No.
Pay him the top dollar. He might leave.
He might. I mean, with him, I'm saying this much. If I'm Colorado, I'm watching his kids, and if his kids transfer or they graduate, I'm calling Deion.
Right.
Like, hey, what do you think? Just give me a heads up. It's cool. Yeah. We'll wire you your money. But nonetheless, we're going to get out of here. This has been What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington. The host is always to my left. Harrison Arns on the 1s and 2s. Appreciate you guys listening. We'll talk to you tomorrow night.